we need to talk about the agonist spectrum now. This is fun. You have the agonist, and you have a partial agonist, and you have an antagonist in the middle. But what you may not know is this one, inverse agonist. In order to understand inverse agonists, we need to talk about constitutive activities. Really, it may be that this is a bit of a esoteric point, because clinically it's not clear that an inverse agonist is that much different than an antagonist in patients, but pharmacologically there is a difference, and I'm going to show it to you now. Do you know that you have a night light on in some of your systems? If the light is on when it's the agonist and it's off when there's no agonist, when it's off, there's a little bit of leakage. It's called constitutive activity. In other words, it's the amount that the G protein system is generating, or your ion channel is generating, at rest with no agonist at all. So it's kind of like a little bit of nightlights just going through, just a little bit of throughput. Now, if you have an agonist, instead of having just one of those, now I've got 4 of these. All the way up on the volume. Maximum signal transduction. If I'm an antagonist, as opposed to an agonist, it's silent. It doesn't do anything. In other words, it doesn't even change constitutive activity. It leaves the nightlight on. But by itself, it doesn't do anything. But of course, it'll block an agonist, but it isn't going to block constitutive activity. A partial agonist will be maybe, instead of 1, which is like the nightlight, 4, which is blaring, it might have 2. So it's partially turning on this system as though it's a dimmer rheostat switch that's going much higher than the nightlight, which you can barely see, up into dim light like we might have in the room now. I don't know if you knew that, but there were partial agonists acting on you at the moment. In fact, a full agonist is the light is at its brightest, a partial agonist is dimming, no agonist as the light is off. But what is this inverse agonist, and why do you care? An inverse agonist is beyond antagonism. Even the constitutive activity is blocked.